another special guest for you. Welcome back to the Insiders. Matt here. Yes, you heard me right. We have another special guest for you. Tonight, we might have the youngest big wave charging hellman on the planet. Surfing's next big thing in the big wave world, as well as small waves, rips. We have the classic Australian Ned Hart. Hear us chat to Ned about waves, working with the Florence crew, and way loads more. Just dive into this one. It's a sick one. Enjoy it. So
Sick.
how was your trip to Cali? Like how was the travel?
It's super cool. It's super cool. I obviously originally came over for sort of big wave awards. I wasn't nominated or like getting an award, but I was invited over and I really wanted to come over to Cali either way. So we're here now sort of making a little bit of a trip out of it, doing some sightseeing and then back home, but the jet lag's so bad, eh?
Yeah, how long's the trip? How long's the flight?
I think it was like 4 hours or like 4.5 hours from Perth to Sydney, and then have like a layover, and then Sydney to Honolulu, which is Hawaii, was like 9.5 hours. Let's say 10 hours, and then from Honolulu to LAX, well, Los Angeles was another 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, that's a solid bit of travel.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, there's it's always that last bit as well. That last like 4 or 5 hours on
Yeah,
that
yeah,
plane.
it's
You're
just
just like,
killing me.
get me. I done
It
I
was
done my first ever Indo trip this year, and it was door to door was like 48 hours. But the last
heavy.
we went to Cruy, and the last I don't know if you've been, but the last part.
Yeah, yeah, I have.
So did you do the 6 hour drive from?
Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah, like
It's so
so
bad.
we'd done like um a night in the airport in um Jakarta, and then like the little hour flight, and then that last 6 hours, that drive was easily the worst drive of my life.
So bad. Yeah, I had an absolute shocker going there. I went there in, was it July? I think it was
Oh
about
yeah,
to July. I went there and I got so sick on the drive. Like I was good to go, I felt fine, and then I don't know what it was, but as I like got into the car, I was starting to feel like a little woozy. And we just kept going and kept going. I was just like dead in the back, eh? I was just like laid down and like I don't know what it was. It was just like a really quick like a fever almost. It was real
yeah,
weird. It was the 6 hours I just sat there like shivering and then like sweating and shivering and then like sweating and just sat there just going like oh like stomach cramps and everything. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
so
And then
nuts.
I got there and I was feeling a lot better, but it was like whatever I had just waited exactly till I was in the car and then it just cooked me, eh?
Yeah, it's so heavy. The worst thing as well about that drive is, or for me, was like you can't even go to sleep because you're hitting like potholes, and like you're like the drivers are all nuts as well. You're just like,
Terrifying.
what's going
Hold
on?
on for dear life.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, like
nuts.
every time you're about to fall asleep, it's like you're swerving around a corner or something terrifying.
Yeah. Did you
It's it,
score? Did you score good waves after?
I got some fun waves, nothing crazy, definitely nothing what we were almost there for. The first wave was pretty sick. I had some fun days over at Jimmy's Left,
Yeah,
and that was probably the best. And we had a couple other fun days here and there, like a few little slabs and stuff, but didn't get anything like 10 out of 10, like proper cooking. They're still
yeah,
pretty sick, 100%.
yeah. We had similar. Like I think I went with a group of like lads from England who are like high level English surfers and stuff, and yeah, like they scored. Like they had a few days at the beachy that was fun, but it wasn't like the videos that you see of Mandiri Beach or anything. And then had one really good day at Jenny's, the Riot,
Sick.
which was fun. But like, yeah, like we went kind of on the verge of seasons but it was still good fun. It's still a hell place and pretty wild place, but
It's
still
super
good
sick. Eh?
fun.
Whereabouts we staying?
So my one of my really close friends owns a villa there called Villa Rosa, which is like just it's literally 100 meters from the Mandiri Beach Club.
Sick.
Where did you stay?
Um, I I originally went over there for like a 2 week trip with my dad to Secret Samarkand.
Oh yeah, we had a hell party
Yeah,
there.
yeah, which was like 2 years ago, and then ended up becoming pretty good friends with the owners and did some surf guiding out there and
Oh yeah,
stayed out
sick.
there another like month and a half, maybe 2 months in total.
I
And then
forgot what the woman there's like this because there's like two or three owners, isn't there? And there's a woman there,
it was,
like she's
it
an
was Joe.
Aussie, Jodie, that's it. Classic, she is.
Yeah, character. And then
Yeah,
I went back there this year just for like yeah, like a little bit with my girlfriend, and they gave us a fair bit of a discount because I did a lot of surf guiding there, obviously last
nice. Yeah,
season beforehand. And I said I'm gonna do like a fair bit of promotion or
yeah,
whatever for them, so it was pretty sick.
yeah. They're cool. Yeah, we had a really the like that seafood barbecue thing they do. Like
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
went to that
yeah.
and then it went pretty wild after, which was pretty fun.
It gets pretty messy, eh?
Yeah, yeah. It was
It's
it was good
gnarly.
fun. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a hell place. But this is Darren.
How you going, Darren?
I'm good. How are you, Ned?
Yeah, going good, going good. Just cruising over in California at the moment. Jet lag's getting me, eh?
Hey, so I've got another friend, which is it's very coincidental that's independently been excessively harassing me to go there as well, South Sumatra. He's friends with a guy that's got a Spanish camp. It's at that same area where you are, Matt. So is it worth going? I mean, you have to promote it, but like, huh? Tubes, long waves.
Heavy waves. Like I mean, in my opinion, some pretty heavy waves, some good setups. Like I think if you get it good, it gets really good. Um, a lot of lefts. I found out there was a lot of lefts, and I prefer going right.
So,
Yeah.
so you were there in like prime season. I'm assuming, Ned.
I My first stint out there was about yeah, probably about 2 months, let's say, from when was it? I think it was like June, July.
Okay, yeah, like in that
It was
season.
it was pretty sick. I had some really fun waves. Didn't get anything like incredible. It was really good beforehand and was really good afterwards. I don't know what happened, but I just kind of got a little unlucky. Got some really sick waves though. Like had so much fun. Got tubed pretty much every single day. Don't get me wrong, like it was it was incredible surfing like yeah, long point breaks to like little slabs or big slabs or angry barrels and fun stuff, and obviously got some incredible beachies there. And it was pretty sick going out because you're in the jungle. You're pretty it's pretty remote.
Remote. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
pretty
that's
remote.
actually good for a surf trip, isn't it? Remote.
Yeah, 100%. It's super remote. I feel like it's starting to get a little busier now, but that's the
Yeah,
same as everywhere, I guess.
I
So,
have
what are you
heard.
doing?
Oh,
What are you doing in California? Sorry, Matt.
it's all
I
good.
I originally came over for the Big Wave Awards. I was not nominated like as a nominee for my wave. I put a fair few waves in. Unfortunately, I didn't get an award or anything along those lines. Hopefully next year. But I came over for that because I was invited to the event, and I don't know, wanted to come out to Cali for a fair while, come out and do a bit of sightseeing, come see my girlfriend, come see some friends, and hopefully meet up with a couple, I guess, sponsors and have a look around California. And I could thought I should almost try to get two birds with one stone, you know?
Yeah, that sounds like a sick little trip. So, when you say sponsors, is that like trying to? Because I'm guessing like the Florence crew are there, other than
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Jonathan.
trying to go say good day to all of that crew. It'd be super cool. Just I guess have a look through the main sort of headquarters and go see the heart of it, you know?
Yeah. Do you get to interact with them much? Like obviously like because that was one of the questions I really had is I know the guys who run Florence UK and Europe really well like and one thing that seems really cool is that like top to bottom they have quite a lot of interaction and quite a lot of like input and feedback and stuff. And even with their customers, they have like test pilots and things like that. So do they like do you get to like feedback to them quite a lot and like discuss things as well?
100%. It's quite like always sending me out new, I wouldn't say models because they haven't necessarily been released, but like you said, test pilot, a lot of things to test and improve. And I get a little package or something and use it, like try to use it to the best of my ability, push it to the max, do as much as I can with it, and then give all that feedback if I have any like flaws or the like
Yeah.
positives, and give that back to them. And it's not just me that, like you said, it's a big test pilot crew that are doing that. So it's a pretty good way to get all your gear to the best, like that it can be, because you got hundreds of people using it and giving you feedback, and they listen to the feedback really well. And it's like everything that I've almost said, like, hey, it'd be maybe worth looking at that to improve or this to improve. They've listened and done it, sent it back out and gone, is this better? How's this? And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty positive they're probably doing that with like other test pilots and a lot of crew. And it's very like, there's a fair bit of communication. So it's pretty sick.
Hey, so I come from a multi, I don't know how you say it, multiracial, multinational relationship. My wife's French. You said you're there visiting your girlfriend. You're from West Australia, right?
Yeah, I'm from Western Australia.
And so, like, is your girlfriend from California? How did you guys meet?
I actually originally met her in Hawaii on the North Shore. I was out there at a winter surfing and then bumped into her and yeah, the rest is history, I guess. She lives in Hawaii and California and sort of goes in between the two and it's it's pretty sick, it's pretty handy and yeah, pretty pretty rare I guess to just go over to another country and be like, oh, how you going? And meet someone and be able to travel across the world and goes vice versa. She comes over to Australia, I go over to California or America and meet up and it's pretty darn sick. You
It's
said your wife was from
from France, yeah, from Hossegor. So it's a
interesting. Like,
yeah, it's strange. Well, it's strange. It's just it's not unheard of because surfers are known to travel. So
it
it
tends to
happens
happen, doesn't it?
happens a lot more than you think. If you
Yeah,
if you have a look at the surfing world, I think you'll often find that there's
yeah,
plenty of situations like that.
yep, yep,
Well, if you
yep.
look at today as an example, talking about girls from Hawaii, Leo Frivanti's just married Soph Wilson, now Frivanti, and
Oh,
that's
interesting. I
obviously
didn't
like
know
an
that.
Italian bumping into a Hawaiian, and obviously like, but
Yeah,
he spent a lot of time there and stuff as well, though. But that's cool.
yeah. I I wouldn't say that I've spent like a huge amount of time on the North Shore in Hawaii or still got a lot more time to go, I'm a pretty new face there, but it was my fourth winter. Well, gonna go into my fifth winter of being out there. And I'm usually out there for like 2, 3 months at a time. So get I guess a fair bit of surfing or a bit of time in the water out there. So it's pretty sick.
That'd be so sick. And
Are
then does
you?
that, sorry, yeah, does that then lean back to like what you're saying about like the Florence and the sponsorship as well? Because obviously you ride for Pyzel. Does that like give you some cool time to actually go in and like see the heart of that as well?
Yeah, 100%. It's incredible. I've been like partners with Pyzel since I was probably like 9 years old.
Wow.
Like no, probably a bit older than that, but like a long, long time. I've been riding their boards for pretty much forever since I started surfing, really. It was my first ever custom board, and then it like just sort of progressed and moved forward. And now I'm pretty proud to be riding for them on I guess a worldwide level, being able to travel across the world and get boards and promote their boards, and I mean they're working very well. The best
Yeah.
boards I've ridden, like by far.
How old are you, Ned?
I'm 19. I just turned 19 in June.
That's what I thought because I was having a
Yeah,
look. I was having a little bit of a scroll before. Just so happens that I think on a previous podcast, it would have been last year. No, it would have been this year. It's hard to tell which year is which anymore. But I said to Matt to have a look at that wave of Shipsterns that you got, which I'm not pissing in your pocket. I said it was one of the craziest, gnarliest rides I'd ever seen just for
thank
all the action. Actually, if you look at it, if you actually have a look at the clip, which I just did again before, I wondered why I was thinking that. It was just all that action that like there's a massive jump you do straight into a foam ball where you can't see anything. Did that is that one of your biggest like viewed like clips?
Oh, 100%. By far, it was definitely a huge milestone in almost like I guess projecting myself forward. I hate sound like saying this because I sound cocky, but it was huge like milestone in projecting, I guess, my career, you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thanks to Tim Bonythan for being there and shooting, and my mate Noah Hassett for telling me in. But I also met Noah over in Hawaii as well, and I was completely like green going over to Tasmania, like no idea. And he sort of took me in, took me out. I walked in, and he ended up towing me into that wave, and that was my first wave towing in, actually, believe it or not.
Fuck.
Not
No
even
way.
turns, just like ever in general. I've done like little step offs and stuff like that at a beach in like 3 foot waves practicing airs, but you can call it that if you want towing in. But that was my first time towing into like a proper sort of slab. And I don't know, I wouldn't say I got lucky, but I kind of just I have a feeling that if I went there now and I had more of an idea on the wave, I probably wouldn't have done that. I probably would have taken a different line and almost like avoided the step. But I remember my friend telling me, just going like, the only advice I'm going to give you is like as soon as you see the step, just go straight, like straight at it, because you don't want to be going over at the angle. So I kind of like, as you said, you looked at the clip and kind of sat there like almost fading until I spotted it and I just gun hoed straight at it, and I ended up doing this jump, sort of landing, and I don't think I really realized that it was a pretty solid air drop or jump or whatever you want to call it because I was, like I said, pretty clueless, and I managed to sort of get it and land quite cleanly to be able to project myself, like almost pump back up into the bowl of the wave and get through that little chandelier. And it was pretty psyched. Like I came into the channel with my like hands above my head. I was psyched for myself. I didn't really understand that it was a pretty, I guess, sick air drop because I got a few waves after that, which personally felt a lot better, which I actually got like more of a tube or were a bit bigger. But I guess that one was quite rare, almost the way that it gave me just a perfect little ramp.
It was
Yeah.
just so photogenic. Like I just
Yeah,
had a look before the way you had the photo. So was that one of your first sessions out there?
it was my first. Yeah, it was my
It's crazy.
first time ever being there. My first wave at Shipsterns.
For
Sounds
me,
like a similar career to Laurie Towner, who did a similar thing down there and also in Hawaii.
Yeah, Laurie Town is mental. He's an incredible surfer.
yeah, for me that wave, that airdrop, like the step in it, it's just so like the drama that adds. Like you've got like a ginormous wave cat like chasing you down anyway, and like that's bad enough. Plus you've got like Shipstones. It I don't know how it feels riding it, and I never will, but like it looks like you feel quite close to the rocks as well. Kind of, it looks
It's
horrible, and then you've got this massive step coming at you as well. It's just not good.
it's pretty intimidating,
Yeah.
100%. It's pretty intimidating. I got one where I got absolutely flogged. Like I kind of pulled into it and it just chandeliered and closed out on me. And there was just no escape. They're just getting destroyed. But as soon as I fell, I was just thinking like, oh, I'm going straight to the rocks. I'm going straight to the rocks. But it's almost like I'm not completely disregarding it because it can definitely happen, but it's almost the way that it breaks. It almost pushes you out from the rocks into the deeper water.
Right, yeah.
For the amount of people that surf it like that and get barrels like that, and there's a lot, it seems that you actually do get washed in,
Yeah,
washed down into the channel or not.
I mean, you definitely, of course, same as everywhere, you can get unlucky, wrong spot, like wrong time, and you're getting injured. Actually, when I was there, before I even managed to like get behind the rope and get in the way of one of the local crew, he's an absolute ripper. His name's Harry Holmcross, I'm pretty sure it was. I might have to like correct you on that, but I'm more than positive that's what it is. And then he pulled into this one and it sort of chandeliered on him. He kind of got unlucky and just went straight, almost down instead of going outwards, like into the channel, and that was a pretty gnarly injury. So it definitely can happen. I've heard a few stories of people going into a cave there, like right underneath the right like underneath the ledge where the step is. It's like a big sort of like whirlpool, I guess. I haven't personally experienced it. I hope I never do, but a few local crew have told me that it's like you can get sucked in it, and it's sort of like you go in there and you don't really know. It's just like a big, yeah, cave, I guess, but it sucks you back out. It's like this is all stories, like I said, but it's like I've heard you sort of go in there.
War stories.
Yeah, it's like I've heard you like go in there, and it kind of just like and like sucks you back out, like you can hear it, which is evil. Like,
Yeah.
like that's just terrifying. So it definitely can happen. It definitely does flog you, of course. It's a terrifying wave, but I've gotten pretty lucky there most times. I've fallen and got pushed into the channel, but knock on wood because I don't want to jinx myself.
So from that, like obviously that was one Darren. I remember Darren saying to me like, "Look at this," and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a look," and I was like blown away. And then about 6 weeks ago, I was fortunate enough to go to like it was actually a surfers barbecue put on by Wavelength magazine in the UK, and they premiered Frostbite, which is
Sick.
your film. It was so sick, and
Thank you. Appreciate that.
nice. It's like it was just it was really cool because like I was stood in a room with like say like 100 people all standing, and the setup was like it was like just a small projector literally on a chair in the room going to a white wall. But I kind of looked around halfway through this film, and like everyone was just like there was no mobile phones out, like, and everyone was just transfixed on this film, and I was like, this is legit. Like it was so legit, and but like a lot of that's in Ireland and Scotland, right?
Man, that makes me so happy. I'm frothing on that. Thank you. I obviously wasn't able to get there, and I knew a fair like bit about it, what was going on, but that's definitely the best story that I've heard. Like, thank you. I'm actually really psyched on that. You've got me smiling. But
Oh, stoked.
yeah, that was mainly all filmed over in Ireland, and then a small part of it was over in Scotland, and it was pretty sick. I sort of went over there just psyched up, not planning to make a clip or a little edit whatsoever. Like I've always wanted to, but I've never been able to, never got the footage or the film or the waves or ever been able to sort of link it up. But I went over there with a friend called Ben Larg who lives out there,
Yeah.
and we ended up just going on this madman like swell chase and ended up getting linked up with a filmer called Oscar James who we picked up, and we're just getting very lucky, and I was getting a lot of waves, which it's you speak to any surfer who's trying to make a clip or an edit, and obviously you need waves. It's the main part of it, but it's so hard. It's so hard, and I don't think it's talked about how annoying and like almost like draining it is to be able to like grind and chase to get good waves everywhere. That sounds very that sounds bad because it's an absolute privilege. Like it's amazing to be able to do it, but
No,
it's
but I
like
think we understand what you mean, how unattainable it can be.
yeah, that's the right word. It can be like you can spend your whole everything just trying to chase these waves and you get there, but it's the ocean. You know how it is. It's so unpredictable. It's you have
Yeah.
no idea. And I think that's what it was. I got pretty lucky and I managed to just get session after session after session where it was like I was getting a fair few pretty like nice waves that I was kind of happy with. Of course, there's a lot where I blew where I could have gone, oh, God damn it, or 110 sessions where I could have just been like, oh no, like I wish that I got that wave or I actually made a wave that session. But yeah, we were just traveling around Ireland and Scotland and we got a bunch of clips. Me and Oscar were like, well, what do we sort of do with this? Because I feel like a lot of the videos, or we could almost make something better rather than just dumping it all on Instagram Reels. You know, like we've got enough clips to make something worth almost more than that. I'm not saying that it's like worth
That
everything
definitely
and
is.
it's
You're
incredible
100% right.
whatsoever. Not at all. I'm just saying like we had all this footage and we're like, well, we can definitely do something with it, which could help us both and is sick to look back on, you know?
Yeah, you're 100% right as well. The easy option, almost the easy option almost is what you said as well. It's like, okay, cut like you get all of these waves, just bang them all out onto Instagram. Takes nowhere near the amount of time editing or anything like that. But to put it together into the film or to the edit that you done with him and the time it takes to edit, the time it takes to line it all up and not
Yeah.
just fill it for the waves is it's a lot more work, but it is like you say, it's way more core as well. But I wanted to ask, so was that your first trip to Ireland?
Yeah.
So you just
Yeah.
do this. So this is just a normal thing for you. Just rock up anywhere, take on like just hell waves.
Um, I feel like I've just gotten pretty lucky, hey. To be completely honest, I've rocked up and just lucked into a pretty good session and lucked in to be able to get in a good wave. I'm not going to put it all on luck, but I guess I've just been able to be in the right place, right time, and been able to get good waves or be able
I,
to
yeah,
get a good
I,
session, you know?
I think
Was was Ben a pretty good guide then? I know Ben quite well actually. He's sponsored by the old surfboard factory I used to work with.
Yeah, sick. Cool. He was oh, he was super helpful 100%. I met his family 2 years beforehand at Big Wave Awards actually, where I sort of met him. I didn't really like know him too well, but stayed in contact and then I was like hitting him up going like, dude, I'd love to come out. I'd love to come out. And then yeah, went over to Scotland, met up with him and instantly we drove straight over to Ireland and then yeah, just went everywhere from there because he's pretty set up. He had the car, he had the jet skis, like we were pretty dialed in and yeah, thanks to Ben, it was pretty like he had all the gear, you know. It was definitely severely helpful.
Was there any sort of, for example, in the footage, am I right that you're sponsored by Monster,
Yeah,
which I saw, and he's sponsored by Red Bull. So
yeah.
was there any conflict of interest just in the images or anything that you got out of that?
Not really that I sort of like, not anything that was severe. You know, I think it's kind of just like if I'm promoting Red Bull or if like Ben's promoting Monster, then it's will definitely get very iffy very fast. But it's sort of like, well, what are they? I can't really say what they expect, but it's like we're friends and we're surfers, you know. At the end of the day, we're just surfing, trying to get waves, and we're lucky enough to be able to have these people behind us to be able to help us and almost project us to get more waves and get more exposure and promotion. And
yeah, no, it
I
we're
makes
was just
like
yeah,
we're
I was
definitely,
lucky.
wondering if did his jet ski have Red Bull stickers all over it? That was kind of
Yeah, it
what.
did.
yeah.
It
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
It's
I
like,
suppose you could just cut out the toe in part.
yeah, well, I mean, what what can
What
you
can
do?
you do?
Ben,
I
It's
think
the
if
same.
I think hope
Yeah,
you hope that the guys at Monster as well are like it's not exactly like you're stood leaning on his car chugging a Red Bull. Like
yeah,
it's nothing
precisely.
it's just a different part of your clip kind of thing. Like
Yeah, exactly.
um it's the same as like you'd hope a lot of the time common sense prevails where it happened to me like a good friend is sponsored by a surfboard company, and he was just out in El Salvador for the ISAs, and his bags didn't turn up, right? So
Yeah,
he's borrowed his mate's boards, and they're conflicting surfboard factories, and you're like, well, you hope his shaper and that factory is not going to be like, why are you riding those boards or whatever. So you do hope that that comes into it.
yeah, 100%. It's like I don't know. We're both there surfing, trying to get good waves, and like I said, we're lucky enough to have people behind us helping us to get good waves, and 100%, I guess they can butt heads, but I guess with the ski thing, it's like I'm getting towed in by Ben on a few waves, and sometimes getting a good wave, sometimes obviously getting completely flogged, and I am getting towed in by a Red Bull jet ski, but it's like I can't say well I don't really know what to say. It's kind of I can't say what do you expect. That sounds bad, but it's like if it's the opportunity's there, 100% I'm gonna
Yeah.
take that any day of the week. It's like
No, I completely agree. It's a bit like if you're sponsored by a car company and someone offers you a lift, you can't like be like,
precisely.
I'm not going to get in your car because it's not this
Mate,
model.
that's honestly the best way to put it.
How
100%.
did how did because I read a really interesting. I've got a couple of questions with that. I'll see if Matt picks up on it too because he would have read an article from Bobby Martinez. So how did your Monster deal come about? You have you got an agent for that?
Um, Sort of not really. I was with where did it come from? It was like I was speaking to a guy called Kurt Jacobs for a fair while, and he was extremely like very like helpful. He's based over on the East Coast and definitely helped me out a fair bit. We ended up sort of parting ways. It it happens, you sort of come and you go, But it was mainly through my mother and then Kurt, and then just sort of contacts through other people, It's like someone who might know someone else, and you know someone who knows someone else, and they can give you a reference point for a sponsor, and that person might be able to give you a reference point for another person. It's all sort of linked in and wires up, and I guess I got quite lucky to be able to have the support of Monster and Monster Army and to be able to do this. But I don't know, I'd mainly say all praise to my mother and to Kurt for helping me out.
And
I
what
would
a
say I would say first of all is like I don't think you're I don't think you're lucky. Um,
nah.
you've said you've got lucky a few times like during this poddy, and I'm like you're not lucky because like there's like some old adages which is like you make your own luck, and like the harder you train the luckier you get, things like that. And I think I strongly believe that is like you're you're putting yourself out there, like you are throwing yourself over the ledge of waves that a lot of people wouldn't. You're making those waves, you're doing interesting shit like Frostbite, and like your I forget the name of your other film, but the other film from like 2 years ago which was sick as well. And
Is
I don't
that at
think
Nazare? Or
yeah,
was it
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
that okay, okay.
Yeah, the one you got an award for it. I think you won like the Surfer Magazine Charger of the Year or whatever it was in 2013, maybe
I
23.
did make
2023. Sorry, yeah,
I did make a small edit round home with a few of the slabs
yeah.
around Australia with a local guy, and that was called Uncharted Territory, which Monster also helped out a fair bit, and that was super sick. That was my first sort of semi clip. It was like I feel like it was a clip, but not really an edit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that was super cool. And I linked up with a few guys and a few filmers over in Nazare and put a um put an edit out of Nazare, which was also really sick. And that went in a few like sort of not movie showings, but like film festivals and things like that. And surprisingly did quite well. I'm surprisingly sounds bad because the editors and filmers did an incredible job and fair play to them. I personally wasn't happy with my waves because I'm always my biggest critic, but I was kind of fuming with that. But that was also another clip which I was pretty psyched on.
So what are they? What? For example, what basically Monster's an extreme sports brand, so you just fit straight in because you're doing extreme sports. Do you have like any sort of directives from them, or it's go for it?
Um, it's definitely more like go for a sort of idea of it. Monster is super sick and they're very helpful, but I feel like a big difference between Rebel and Monster, which is like Rebel are more like team orientated, you know, they're like, oh, we're gonna get all the crew and we're gonna go do something, or we're gonna get all the crew and we're gonna go like maybe train everyone up and do this, or Monster are more like we're gonna get everyone together and that's gonna be like the thing to do. Almost that sounds bad, but it's like we're gonna get these specific people and send them to go do something and they can like do their thing and do their, I guess, little niche point of what they're trying to do, where Rebel are more like, oh, we're going to get everyone together and sort of direct them more. But obviously, I'm not with Rebel, so I can't speak for that whatsoever. But that's just sort of my experience of Monster, a lot more like gun ho, like, we're going to help you do what you want to do and go for it, you know?
Yeah, and I think
Yep.
that like depending on the person you are, I say athlete or surfer or person, one will align. Like there's some people out there who need Red Bull to be like, okay, you're going to come here, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and that fills their calendar with their content. And then there's some people out there who are like, I don't want, like, I've got my plans and my ideas and what I want to do, and that's what I want to go for.
Yeah, so back to quickly just to before Matthew finds something else to talk about, which he's pretty good at. But Monster, because I did read about that from Bobby, who is an extreme character, Bobby Martinez, and
100%.
he loved the fact that the Monster just let him be who he wants to be. He's got
Yeah.
zero social media. It's pretty radical. He's still incredibly
Yeah.
relevant.
Yeah. Yeah. They're pretty good brand for doing what you want to do and being who you want to be, if that makes sense. They're pretty loose. You can be a bit of a maniac and they'll love you, you know, they love it.
You don't have to toe the corporate line.
Not at all. Not at all. Not too obviously there's politics through it, but it's pretty like pretty cruisy. Just what I was trying to say with the whole like team thing with Rebel and like go do whatever, just go fucking be a maniac with the monster thing is definitely a lot more helpful, at least for me, because I'm trying to be the whole like, oh, just go do your thing, you know, go be a maniac, go just carcass toss yourself over some waves and hope for the best.
Did you ever do competitions ever?
I was definitely in the competition scene for a little bit, but I recognized pretty quickly I was pretty useless at the whole competition and small wave grind and the three to the beach sort of deal. I had some progress in a couple comps, but nothing to where I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. Like, I'm really enjoying this. You know, I never loved it whatsoever. I was pretty keen on it because it was like, I had a few friends that were in the comp scene and doing the comps, and my parents were like, oh, like, you should give this a go and do that. But it's never really like that in tune with it, if that makes sense.
And you're from Margaret River, or am I being naive? Because West
No,
Australia's a
no,
big place.
I'm from about 30 minutes north of Margaret River, which is a little town called Dunsborough.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I wonder if I
It's,
don't have a friend from there, Mick Short, or maybe he's from Redhead Mick Short. Maybe he is actually Margie's.
I recognize that name actually.
Redhead goofy footer, carpenter, older guy.
Probably dropped in on him.
But
No, yeah,
anyway, it doesn't matter. So you obviously were surfing extreme waves from a young age, is what I was alluding to, which took you away from competitions.
well, I was trying to. It was sort of like I loved surfing, I loved being in the water, and I loved getting tubed, same as every single surfer ever, really. But I don't know, I feel like it more came from everyone else is going and surfing like these little waves and grinding, and like I said, three to the beach, where I was sort of like, oh, well, everyone's in here. What if I just went out there? There's not as many people out there, and it looks way more thrilling, you know? So it was like from a young age, I was also sort of chasing that, and my dad was pretty helpful. He'd sort of just send me into these waves when I was obviously a microgrom and just sending me over the falls consistently. I was just loving it on all these micro little slabs around home, which are perfect training ground, and he was just loving it. And like I said, just carcass tossing myself over these little slabs and little tubes over and over and over. You get pretty used to it and pretty comfortable with being able to just, I guess, turn and burn, you know?
That's just reminded. I had a completely different question and line of where I was going to go next, but it's just reminded me of a thing. So, but you might not have seen it. Did you see the Grom who, like, the day the WSL ran at the box? There was a Grom that morning who got like a hell wave. He was like 14 years old. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that kid pretty well.
yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Do you know who he is? Is he a bit like,
Oh, he rips.
yeah?
Super gnarly, super gnarly. I was surfing with him about 3 days before I came over to California.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And so to make this to make this more kind of relatable to me as such.
yeah,
So Darren won't like to admit this, but like Darren surfs hell waves. He surfs Lenore a lot, like gets some mental ones at Lenore and chases big waves.
yeah.
And
Good on
and
him.
I don't. And I don't. But so what I wanted to ask is when you're not faced with like when you don't have the option, when it is like free foot. Do you like getting on like different types of boards and having fun with changing up boards, or are you like a pretty standard board kind of guy?
100%. I mean, I love surfing if it's big or like nothing, you know, just sort of grinding. I almost like have more drive to be able to like this might sound weird, but like doing big wave sort of stuff is like a passion and I love it, but like I'm more like keen to be like, fuck, like I want to learn how to grind, you know, get like those little airs or like get a mean carve or something like that because I'm not good at it whatsoever. So I'm like really keen to do that. And yeah, I'm always trying sort of new boards. I was riding this twin fin from Pyzel surfboards, which it's called the Wildcat, and the thing is mental, eh? It's mental. It's like a high performance twin where they threw like a couple channels through it, and it's got like a
Yeah.
little bat wing almost. And it's probably the funnest board I've ever ridden.
Yeah, so I fortunately a couple of years ago I interviewed John Pyzel and he'd just come back from Indo and he was like, I've been surfing this thing called the Wildcat. And I was like, wow, okay. Like the way he spoke about it, I was like, well, I've got to get one now. So I had one a couple of years ago.
How'd it
Hell,
go?
so good. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, amazing. Super good for, especially in England. I kind of used it as like almost like a good wave board, and
yeah,
like oh, good waves for here. But like it, I loved it because I could surf it in anything, so I wasn't having to like chop and change like loads of different boards and stuff. Yeah,
pretty
such a
versatile,
sick
mate.
board. Yeah,
Super sick. I've surfed it in like everything I almost could. It's so fun. I've surfed it from like 1 foot little grindy beach breaks to like actually pretty good sort of waves, like slabs almost. And I haven't
Mm.
had any issues with it. I find it so much fun, eh? It's
Yeah.
just completely almost different.
It is pretty
Yeah.
radical how wide the surfing spectrum is, isn't it?
100%.
So
100%.
that's why it's such an incredible sport.
Yeah. There's so many
Hey,
like everyone has like their own little niche, a little like pocket of sort of style of surfing, and it's pretty sick.
at one stage there was and it was valid. There was a little bit of criticism about the majority of big wave surfers because you could call them big wave Daves and stuff like that. And there was a bit of a known fact that some people would just charge. Obviously, it's just so much more fun. Oh, well, it depends for who. But there was less, you could say there was less skill involved with some people, as opposed to now there is a multitude of you guys going. And to get to the top of that, like for example, your drop at Shipstones is an example where like you could say Felipe Toledo's got like such technical capabilities, trestles or something. But to be able to do what you did at Shipstones as well, there's only a micro percentage of people that can do it. And are you seeing that when you go into the different hot spots? Because there's always going to be fridge dwellers of people that are average surfers like myself or anyone else. You must see the different in levels. Like, for example, you and let's say the Lord of Lords, Nathan.
100%. I mean, like I've always looked at it. This might sound bad, but like I feel like every ripper who like rips at surfing can be a charger, but there's not too many chargers that can be rippers, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
it's
That makes sense, but I don't agree. And I
you
think
only
like I don't agree purely based on like the example Darren used. So Filippo is a two-time world champion
yeah,
and arguably in under 3 foot surf, the best surfer in the world, but he can't charge. Like,
true. Yeah. I mean,
but I do
I'm not bagging whatsoever, but I mean, like,
no, but no way. He surfs way better than me and he charges way harder than I could. But at
It
the same
shows
time,
the spectrum of surfers as well. Like there's different
yeah,
abilities and everything. There's in skiing, it kind of does cross across into other sports. There's guys that are incredible at powder snowboarding and other ones that are better at like all those little bumps and things like that. But surfing
yeah,
now, like where you're going, Ned and Nathan and the other guys, there is a regular crew at all these different spots, isn't there?
100%. There's definitely a few crew, and I feel like what you're saying with like the different sort of like areas of almost surfing, and especially with big wave surfing, is just like people who are like going for the biggest slabs, or like we got like then you got like Jaws, let's say, which is like a huge, perfect wave, and people are paddling that and getting crazy tubes. It's not a slab whatsoever. Or you got like a big angry slab, which is, let's say, the right, which is they're both considered big waves, but they're so completely different. You got to be completely different sort of surfer or person to almost want that different side of things. It's like some people definitely excel in angry, crazy slabs, and others in bigger, like taller paddle waves, if that makes sense. But there's
It's
definitely a
So you've
crew.
surfed the right.
I've surfed the right.
Is it as absolutely fucking hectic, scary as it looks?
It's extremely evil. It's almost like looks fake when you're there, you know. It's kind of hard to almost understand. You kind of sat there on a jet ski and going like, is this real? You know, you're looking to your right and there's just it's just like it's flat, and then the next minute the whole leg is just gurgling down under sea level, and you just got the most mutant, not even wave, just like a surge of tons of water just folding over a little slab of reef. And yeah, like you said, it's pretty bloody nuts.
And does it feel like you're just on the edge of the world? Because a lot of people wouldn't, and potentially a lot of our listeners wouldn't understand what it's like to be like you've got to do a half day to a full day drive to get there, don't you? And then jet
Yeah,
skiing, and then we're not letting go of any secrets. It just shows like the how far you actually have to go to even get to a place like this.
100%. It's in the middle of sort of nowhere. It's not in the middle of the ocean, but it's so secluded from everything else, if that makes sense. It's like to access it, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's not like you're driving completely out into the like like open ocean into the horizon looking for it, but it's like to get to the wave, it's an absolute heist of a drive, eh? It's just like you drive there and you got so many other angry slabs and angry like not when I mean like angry slabs, not even just like surfable slabs, you just mean like angry like slabs of reef out of the water and just like chops coming at you and you got a bomby coming at you the other direction and then it's like you eventually get to this little pocket of like ocean that's a little calmer until this wave comes through and it's just I can't even explain it. It's just a gaping hole in the ocean, eh? It's terrifying.
I can't even
It's in
because
the middle of nowhere. Like if you get hurt there, you're pretty I don't want to say it or jinx anyone, but you're not in the best case scenario whatsoever. You got
no.
a long a long drive on the jet ski and a long drive on road and then just I don't know. It's not good.
Well, that was kind of one of the things I was about to say about with your trip to Ireland and Scotland and stuff is the when I watched the clip and sometimes when I watch Nathan's clips when he's around Ireland as well and stuff is the the rock jump or like the climb down the slabs of like the flat like super slippery slabs that the waves breaking up that you have to jump onto to then get out. They're like nuts enough.
I feel like half
Um,
of the thing is even being able to like see these waves, find these waves, and even be able to like access these waves.
yeah, that's
Like,
my point. I always look at them, and the main thing I think of, other than that wave is mental and like wow, like that's a crazy slab. The other thing I think is how has he got back out? Like, do you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like what
yeah,
once you're done, it's not like you'd paddle around to a beachy and just walk up the beach.
precisely. It's pretty mutant, eh? I'm not gonna say too much, expose too much, but a few of the spots that I guess I was looking at or trying to surf or we were surfing were just like half of the mission is getting there and then half of the mission is being able to get into the ocean to surf it. Like
Yeah,
being able to like catching the wave and surfing the wave is like only a small part of it. The whole mission and even getting into the position to be able to turn and paddle on that wave is probably the hardest part, to be completely honest.
yeah. I remember years ago I watched surf film called Proximity. Don't know if you've seen it or not, but
No,
it's just I highly recommend it. It's so sick.
I have to look at it for sure.
And basically so what they did, like the whole premise of the film is like two surfers are in certain parts of the world. So like Steph and Dave Rastovich are in Morocco and Kelly and John are on Fiji, I think they are. And but Albie Leia is with Shane Dorian in Scotland. And they try and set they have this wave that they go and surf and one day they get skunked and stuff. And there's a clip where like Albie's like on this flat bit of rock and this wave just comes and he just gets just chewed up by this whiteboard and you can just see him washing around and stuff. And I'm just like, that's enough to just be like, nah, I'm all good, thanks.
Yeah,
And they go back for more. And I do get it, but I watch those things and I'm like, that is just that's heavy enough, just getting in and out, let alone the actual surfing the slab.
it's exactly it. Or it's like once you're out there, it's all good. That's the best part of it, you know. That's the mellowest part once you're out there waiting for a wave. But exactly what you said, just like once you get a wave, and let's say you fall, what that wave's going into, what you're getting washed into, if you're gonna have to climb up the rocks, or if you're gonna have to rip your leash off to be able to like escape from just mutant waves on, not even just like on a rock, just on pure land.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole another thing.
Do you watch any of Mason Hart?
I watched a fair bit of Mason Ho, yeah. He's insane.
He's my shade.
It's
Scares me.
I don't know how he does it. It's
It's
just I'm sure we're probably thinking of the same wave, but it's just he's surfing land. Not even just like like not even like it's shallow in the sort of like it's like an outer reef and it's sort of shallow. It's like he's surfing
Yeah.
a surge on land.
I feel sorry for his fins every time I watch
Yeah,
half his stuff. Just
just sat there
um
crying. He's going, no.
and a lot of
What?
these waves for let's say his all of history up until the last 10 years or less were never even looked at.
No, you'd laugh at them. You just
literally.
you wouldn't even be looking at them to laugh at them. You just wouldn't even acknowledge it. It wasn't even anything. You just keep walking.
Yeah, just don't even stop. Well, my last like kind of like written down question I had was it like do you have any like set trips, set waves, set like goals that like say like in the next year where you're like, right, I really want to like nail a good wave here or a really good trip here kind of thing.
Definitely back in through Europe and Ireland.
Oh, okay, sick. I thought you was about to say Hawaii.
100%.
But
No, there's a fair few waves over there which are haunting me. I've I'm planning to actually go over to like Europe again in October. Me and my girlfriend are going to go over there for October and November, and then well, that's not booked. It's sort of just that's that's
that's the
the
plan. That's the
that's the
plan.
plan, and then have a little bit of time off, and then straight for like December, January, February through Hawaii again. And I think I'm probably just gonna obviously pipe and then off the wall and definitely a few outer reefs around that area, which are insane, which is more like not going there for a clip or wanting one, just like they're insane to surf. But probably the one that haunts me the most is over in Ireland, which is Mullaghmore.
Yeah.
It just I got a couple good days there and I just got so flogged. I just didn't even get a look in at like being able to sit in that tube. It was just me getting so punished consistently and that just haunted me because it was like I had one session where didn't get too much. I finally got one wave and just went top to bottom. Like I sort of like didn't even touch the wave. I was just in the lip the whole time. And then that's just been haunting me ever since. And I went back and I got onto one good one as I was pulling up. It sort of chandeliered and like almost belly flopped and went up and over on the actual tube section. And that's just been haunting me even more because I'm like, I got so close and it's just that wave Mullaghmore has just been killing me, eh? It killing
Yeah.
me. I
So
wanted, I wasn't able to get it.
does it make you
have you
feel a
got
little
any
bit better? I'll show you. You go, Dad.
have you got any specific boards then set up that you're going to bring with you that you've ordered that you've already got shape that you're looking at and saying this is going to be the one that's going to get me what I want?
100%, 100%. I've got a pretty incredible looking Ado Porto Paddy or like Porto Padillac from Pyzel, of course. And I've just been looking at this thing, just dreaming, eh? Just like mind surfing already, just hoping. So I rode an 8.8 last time I was there, and it felt way too big. It wasn't my board. I didn't have the right boards there, which that's not like I'm not putting the blame on that. It was completely me. It was
Yeah,
my
but
fault.
it's a
Well,
learning process.
100%. But that definitely felt way too big. So I was like, okay. And I had these boards, I just didn't have them over there. They were at home in West Oz. I'm definitely going to get my 8.0, maybe 7.6, and a few other sort of short boards and go marinate over there and try not get as flogged this time.
How thick's the 8.0?
I might have to get back to you on that. I'm not too sure, to be
That's all right.
completely.
I saw a young French kid who had one at this local bigger wave little comp I was at last year, and it was a paddle too. And I was because I'd got a board made of a friend of mine, and I thought I'd done it nose too thick, and then I actually had a look at the Pyzel, and it was fully thick through the whole board.
How I guess what are we talking?
We're talking like I think it was like three,
Oh,
and that and
bloody
that was
hell.
like that was like an 8.0 as well. It was at
Yeah,
least three.
Jesus. Yeah, interesting. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to sound like an idiot. I'm not 100% sure how thick this like Porto Padillac is. The normal Padillacs, they're usually thick throughout the whole sort of board. I feel like the Porto Paddies, they've got a little bit less from like the mid half down, but it's all up in the nose.
So was that
I just
made for Porto then?
I'm guessing so. It was Pyzel and Nathan sort of like doing a bit of not wouldn't say
I
like a
mean, I
collab.
thought
Nathan
how
obviously
how's
helping.
it spelled? Not Puerto
yeah. So
Escondino.
Yeah,
yeah. So I've just
Okay.
had a look. I just had a look, and the stock one is 80 by 20 and a half by 3.38
Yeah,
inches
there you
thick.
go.
there you
That's
go.
thick,
But
man.
Yeah, so about that.
did you see that? Was that young French surfer, Darren? Was that Killian?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just been out. So weirdly, I've just been chatting, and he's just been out in Mexico and
Interesting.
scored and used it.
Really sick. That wave's
Yeah.
definitely on the bucket list. 100%.
That would be cool to. I was going to say, does it make when you talk about Mullaghmore and stuff? Um, just fresh in my mind, like Nathan Florence just dropped a clip because he was here like 2 weeks ago when we had a
Yeah,
real storm, and he doesn't make many. And you see, and then there's another video a few back where Ivan surfed out there and he struggled. And I was going to say, has that made your nightmares a little bit better? That you see like those guys are not. It's obviously not an easy wave.
I mean, yes and no, because it's like I guess I'm looking at that and going like, oh, if he's not able to do it, like I don't know, that should make me feel better. But I'm still going, oh fuck, I wasn't able to do it. I'm still annoyed at myself. I'm still like, oh okay,
Yeah,
like he wasn't able to do it either. But like to be honest, he wasn't able to do it. Okay, sick. That makes me want to do it even more. I want to be able to get there and smash
yeah,
the wave. But of course, that's not part of it. Gonna get flogged. That's debatably 70% of big wave surfing is you getting absolutely flogged, and then every now and then you get the one. Um, but I feel like I've
yeah, right.
definitely I've fallen on a lot better waves than like the good ones that I've made, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess that's what keeps that fire there as well, though. Like you say, you're
Yeah,
you're doing bed karate, like kicking yourself, thinking, right, I'm gonna get that next time.
precisely. But yeah, it's not an easy wave whatsoever. It's sort of, I'm not gonna say luck of the draw, because
Yeah,
you the crew over there have it absolutely dialed. I don't whatsoever. For me, it's just sort of like, I'm able to get this one. Okay, sick. I'm able to get this one. Like I'm going to spin on this one, or like if I'm able to sneak onto that one, also going to try to give that one a go. And then I feel like once you're on the wave, it's sort of just rolling a dice. It could just do nothing, or it could just go mutant. Like I got one or two which I thought were going to do nothing, and I just got destroyed. I got a couple which was like, holy shit, this thing's going to be gnarly, and they just went to nothing. So it's kind of like, maybe that's my personal error, not being able to read that wave very well, but I'm definitely going to try come back for it.
So after us psyching up so much on this, do you have to like go surf like 3 foot trestles or 2 foot ocean side or something like that?
I haven't really thought about it too much. I do have my boards with me. I did bring them over. I think I'm probably going to leave them. Like I bring them over from West Oz. I was sort of thinking I might surf. We'll see. Like, and I'm pretty keen to sort of go skate and go do some other things. I wouldn't necessarily call this much of a surf trip for me. Um, but I'm still keen to go jump in the water and go for a paddle. But I'm also planning like it was almost like a mule trip, I'm going to bring a bunch of stuff over and a fair bit of gear, and then like stop in Hawaii on the way home and leave a fair bit of my like boards and gear and stuff like that with my girlfriend over in Hawaii. So when I come back at the end of the year, it's sort of a little less like luggage.
Less excess weight. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to hit the road too, Matty.
you're
I
all
just
good.
massive thanks for joining us.
Nah, thank
Yeah,
you.
huge thanks.
Love talking, 100%. Appreciate you guys asking me to be here and giving me the time to be able to sort of have a half decent chat to you guys.
No, thanks so much. And like Darren says, like really, really appreciate it and really excited to see more and what comes and like follow up. And it'll be sick to watch you score the Mully wave, and then we'll get you back on and you can talk us through it.
Yeah, we can
And that'll be so
yeah.
sick. And one bit of advice for you with while you're in Cali and you're not that bothered about surfing is yeah, like a bit of advice from a slightly older guy is just rack up some hours with the missus so that you then bank them. So when you're in Ireland and she's when she's sat and it's freezing cold and raining and you've been
Oh,
surfing for 4 hours.
that lady is a machine, eh? Just sits there and films no matter what, zero complaints, zero anything. Just like honestly, hats off, sir. It's a good call. I'm gonna have to write you up on that.
Rack them up. Yeah, just bank
Yeah,
the hours. Just and then you'll be good.
Find
100.
some really good matcha latte cafes. Get out
There
to
you
a couple
go.
of art expos. Send it all.
Sounds perfect.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ned.
Thanks so much, bro.
Thank you.
Chat
Appreciate it.
soon. Take care.
All right, have a good one, guys.
See you
Au
later.
revoir.
Yeah, bye bye. Bye.